Okay, so you're heading off to school and you need a laptop. This is a huge decision. I mean, you're not just buying a gadget, you're investing in the main tool you're going to use for the next 4 years of your life. Papers, projects, you name it. And the classic debate always comes down to Windows versus Mac. So what we're going to do here is break down the real numbers and the best strategies for 2025 to help you make the smartest call. Let's start with the big one. When you're on a budget, is the cheapest option always the best?
Right off the bat, we've got to challenge that common assumption. We all want to save a buck, but here's the thing. The laptop with that super low price tag might actually end up costing you more in the long run. So the real question we're tackling today is this. Is the cheapest laptop to buy actually the cheapest one to own over 4 years?
All right, first things first, let's talk about the thing everyone looks at, the sticker price. This is where that old wisdom comes from. You know, the idea that one is for people saving money and the other is for people with cash to burn. But let's see what the numbers really say.
So this really lays out the traditional view, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the whole world of Windows, with tons of brand new, totally capable machines for under $400. You can grab something like an Acer Aspire 3 for around $320. And on the other side, the cheapest new MacBook Air, even with a student discount, is going to set you back $899. Case closed, right? Windows is the budget choice. Well, not so fast.
This is where things get really interesting, because there's this kind of hidden path that totally blows up that simple price comparison. We are talking about the certified refurbished market. And trust me, for a student on a budget, this changes the entire game.
So what if that premium feel, that high-end experience you always associate with a Mac, wasn't actually out of reach? What if you could get it for pretty much the same price as a brand new budget laptop? Okay, remember this number, $320. This is our baseline. It's the price for a perfectly good, brand new, out-of-the-box Windows machine that'll get the job done.
And here it is. For just $60 more, you can get a certified refurbished M1 MacBook Air. Now, this isn't just some random used laptop from a stranger. It's been professionally inspected, restored, and it even comes with a warranty. You're getting a premium, solid aluminum machine for the price of a new plastic one.
And just like that, the whole decision looks different. It's not about a cheap option versus an expensive one anymore. Now, it's a head-to-head competition between a new budget device and a refurbished premium device at almost the exact same upfront cost. Think about it. A student laptop has to survive being thrown in a backpack, lugged across campus, and used every single day for 4 straight years. That means we have to look past the price and think about stuff like durability, long-term performance, and just how long is this thing going to last?
And right here, you see a totally different approach to building these things. In the Windows world, how well a laptop is built is usually tied directly to how much you pay. Those laptops under $500, almost always plastic, which can bend and wear out over time. With Apple, it's different. Every single MacBook, from the cheapest one to the most decked-out model, has the same solid aluminum unibody. It's just built to take a beating from day one. Okay, now this is a really important trade-off you have to think about. A lot of Windows laptops have this huge advantage. You can pop them open and upgrade the memory or the storage yourself. So if it starts to feel slow in year 3, a cheap upgrade can bring it back to life. MacBooks, they're completely sealed. What you buy on day 1 is what you're stuck with forever. But, and this is a big but, the Mac gets way longer software support. Apple keeps pushing out OS and security updates for 7, sometimes 8 years. Meanwhile, a Windows maker might stop releasing critical updates after just 3 to 5 years. So you're choosing your poison. Do you risk it getting too slow on Windows, or risk one part failing and costing a fortune to fix on a Mac?
So we've talked price, we've talked durability, but there is one thing that can just make the decision for you no matter what you prefer. And that's the software you absolutely have to run for your major.
This chart pretty much says it all. If you're going into engineering or computer science, you're probably going to need Windows for special programs like SolidWorks or ANSYS. Same goes for a lot of business majors who need the full-power version of Microsoft Excel that only runs on Windows. But if you're a creative arts major, a Mac is going to serve you better with industry-standard stuff like Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro. And for humanities or liberal arts, honestly, either one is going to work just fine. So the very first thing you should do is check with your department and see what they require.
This brings us all the way back to our main question about cost. To really figure out which laptop is cheaper, we have to look past that initial price tag and look at the whole financial picture over 4 years. It's a concept called total cost of ownership. Total cost of ownership, or TCO, sounds complicated, but it's actually a really simple and powerful idea.
The formula is just this: what you paid for it up front, plus any money you spend on repairs, minus what you get back when you sell it. See, it's not about how much you spend, it's about how much value you lose over those 4 years.
And this is the key takeaway. That resale value part of the equation completely changes the math. A laptop that holds its value better can end up having a much lower total cost, even if it had a higher price tag to begin with.
Let's look at scenario A. You buy that new ultra-budget Windows laptop for $400. After 4 years of classes and exams, its resale value is pretty much nothing, maybe $50 if you're lucky. So your total cost of ownership is basically the entire purchase price, $400. It's a sunk cost.
Now for scenario B, the refurbished premium Mac. You spend the same $400 up front, but because Macs hold their value so well, you can probably sell it for around $150 after 4 years. And all of a sudden, your total cost of ownership drops to just $250. It was actually way cheaper to own the premium machine.
And just to complete the picture, let's look at a brand new Mac. Yeah, the upfront cost is steep at $900, but after 4 years, you can get a good chunk of that back, let's say $300. That brings your total cost down to $600. The best way to think about it is that the high resale value is like getting a giant rebate check the day you graduate.
So, with all this information, how in the world do you make the right choice for you? Let's boil it all down into a clear, simple framework.
Here is your final checklist. First, what is the absolute most you can spend up front? If it's under $400, your choice is between a new budget Windows machine and a refurbished Mac. Second, what's your major? Go check those software requirements, because that could make the decision for you right there. Third, do you like to tinker? Do you want to be able to upgrade your machine later on? If so, that points to Windows. Fourth, how much do you care about resale value? If you want to get some of your money back in 4 years, you should lean towards a Mac. Fifth, what's your phone? If you already have an iPhone and an iPad, a Mac is just going to work seamlessly with everything. And finally, number 6, are you a serious gamer? If the answer is yes, then Windows is really your only choice. Ultimately, the entire decision really just comes down to this one question. Are you just trying to get through this next year with the lowest possible price tag? Or are you making a strategic investment in a tool that's going to give you the best value over your entire college career? The answer to that will tell you everything you need to know.